Alright, what is up YouTube? It's your boy Swavey, and today we have a build video for you guys. We are going to be showcasing the skill build, aka the sticky build. We'll start off, we have 86.6 thousand DPS, 439,800 toughness, and 43,360 skill power. Now before we jump into the gear and the stats of it all, we're going to jump over to the skills and the talents that we use. Of course, we have the sticky bomb, the BFB of course. Mine is maxed out, as you can see. Explosion damage, 250,000 total damage. Health points, I guess you could say. 4.93 meter explosion radius. Now explosion radius is really important. It's basically what it exactly says, the radius of your explosion. So the bigger it is, the more people you're going to be able to hit. Chain react, apply that bleed effect too. It's great to roll on like your mask, your holster, so that's good. Keep that in mind. I have 50 meter deployment range and 27.8 second cooldown. Now the other skill I use is my heal, my overdose. Basically for that overheal, high skill power is going to give me that overheal basically as soon as I pop it. Every time I run into it, I'm getting about 81,678 self heal, as well as teammates, so they get the heal as well, same amount. The range of it that it's within, basically the radius of it is 2 meters, and the deployment range is 40 meters. My cooldown's 20 seconds on that. Now, and I use a survivor link. Sometimes I'll switch it up to recovery link depending who I'm running with. Get some pretty clutch revives with that, so that's awesome to use. Now my talents that I'm using, and this is for specifically the skill build / sticky build. Triage, of course, heal my teammates. Anybody runs into it, I run into it. It's going to help me get my skills back faster. I run shrapnel, or I guess that's how you say it, shrapnel, whatever, however you say that. I run that so I can apply the bleed effect, especially if I'm hitting a big group. Get them all bleeding. Maybe they already used the heal, or you know what I mean. It slows them down. If they're chasing us, we need to get away or something, so that's good. I use combat medic as well. I don't want to pop a med kit and only get 1 bar of health, so that's really useful. I'd rather pop a med kit if I'm gonna pop a med kit. I want to go back to full health. And I use chain reaction, of course, which is a must. Basically, when you hit 2 or more targets that are triggered by the sticky bomb, you're applying 40% more damage. So like that is very important to use. That's how you see people dropping 3 people at a time, you know what I mean, with their sticky bombs right there, chain reaction. So those are my 4 talents that I use for my skill build. Now we're gonna jump right over to the good stuff, and we're gonna start with the guns, get these out of the way. Now I use these weapons for DPS for basically any build. Basically these two, sometimes I'll put my first wave M1A on, but I mainly stick with the first wave Vector 45 and the Tactical Super 90. My first wave Vector, I actually got this from the blueprint that was being sold DZ3. It's a 204. With my firearms being at 500, I'm only dealing 6.3 a hit with it, but I could deal a lot more damage if I have obviously a lot more firearms than what I would have with like a DPS build or a hybrid build. But I have 21% crit hit chance. I rolled brutal, sustained, and deadly on that. That's awesome, and I have some mods on it. I have mag size, crit hit damage, headshot damage, crit hit chance, accuracy, crit hit damage, and hip fire accuracy and accuracy. That's on my Vector. Now my shotgun, like I said, higher firearms I would have higher damage per shot. This is 35.1 with 500 firearms. So I mean, this could get up to like it hits pretty hard. And I rolled destructive, ferocious, responsive on this. Destructive and ferocious, it's good PvE, but ferocious I'm not gonna get with a hybrid build. I'm not gonna have 2,000 electronics for one, and for two, I really don't PvE. I mainly PvP. But responsive, I really like responsive just because on shotguns it's adding so much extra damage. So those are my 2 weapons I'm using. In my pistol, I just use a Damascus. This is the pistol I stick with just because of the harmful on it. Yes, it's 163. It brings my gear score down, but it's whatever. Not really worried about gear score. Now, the actual gear itself. Let's jump into the actual gear. Let's get a drum roll. Alright, that was kind of weird. But let's jump into it. We have the chest piece, which is final measure 240. Now, without the stamina mod, we'll look at it without the stamina mod. 628 stamina, and I have armor and protection from elites with a mod slot. Your chest piece, you want armor and a mod slot, no matter what. I don't care what build it is. You need armor and a mod slot on your chest piece. People may argue, but those 2 are must. And with a sticky bomb, I'd like to have like sticky bomb damage as a skill attribute, but I don't, so blah blah blah. That's why I have such high skill power, mainly because I don't have too many attributes on my sticky bomb. When I put my stamina mod, which gives me 151 stamina and about 1500 skill power, I'm sitting at almost 800 stamina on just my chest piece. So that's really big to me, and the 1500 armor on my chest is incredible. It's awesome. That's my chest piece. Let's go down to my mask, which is a Tactical Authorities mask. Now, without the stamina mod on that, I have 577 stamina, which I wish was a little bit better, but I unfortunately didn't get skill power, so I had to roll skill power on this. That leads me into having almost 5,000 skill power on it as well. And I actually have sticky bomb explosion radius as well. Like I said, put that explosion radius on, you're going to be able to trigger more enemies when they're bunched up, so it's great to have. Awesome for applying that chain reaction and that bleed effect. When I put my stamina mod on it, which gives me 156 stamina and almost again 1500 skill power, I'm sitting at about 733 stamina. That leads me down to the knee pads, which are final measure against. This is my second final measure piece, which is now going to give me the 50% exotic damage resilience. And without the mod slot on this, I'm sitting at 572 stamina. Armor, 311. If you need help getting to that 75% cap, knee pads are, good to roll armor on. There's other things you can roll on these, like damage to elites, protection from elites. You can roll crit hit damage, you can roll health. There's a couple different things you can roll, but if you need help, knee pads are really good to roll armor onto just to get you to that cap. So I have 311. I have bleed resistance, disorient resistance, and scavenging. I wish I had some shock resistance, but I don't. I couldn't roll them either. I had to roll armor on these. And I have a mod slot as well. You can have 2 major attributes on your knee pads. So I have a mod slot and armor. And with my stamina mod, it gives me 154 stamina and 154 armor, which bumps my stamina up to 726. And I'm 1300 armor on my knee pads alone, which is almost as much as my chest piece, as you see. So when we go over... So that's those 3 items. We covered the chest piece, the mask, and the knee pad so far. Now we'll start at the backpack. Now, backpack, I'm running a Tactical Authority pack. Now, this is my second one that we're going over, which is going to be adding 4,000 skill power onto whatever my skill power is. I have a stamina mod on this, but I have 607 electronics on the backpack itself. And I'm right under 6,000 skill power. I rolled skill power on this, I believe, actually. Skill power is real big to roll. Even if I'm on a hybrid build, if I want to call it DPS or even a tank build, I'm rolling skill power on my mask and my backpack. To me, it's big to have in whatever build you have. It's a quick way to get almost 10,000 skill power. And skill power, we all learned, is very important in this game, especially with your overheal, a pulse, a sticky bomb, whatever you're using, a flashbang, a shock turret, anything you're using, skill power is important to have. I don't have any sticky bomb damage or explosion radius, which I wish I did, but I don't. I actually rolled skill power on this backpack. And I also have a mod slot. All backpacks have a mod slot. At least the gear sets and the high ends do. And I have 155 stamina and about 1500 skill power again on this mod slot. So that's my backpack. 603 armor, not bad for a backpack. As you see, I can get up 666. I don't think I've ever seen 700 without a mod slot. I don't think I've seen that. Now my gloves, I don't have a gear set gloves. I'm just sticking with my Savage gloves. Add a little bit extra crit hit chance and crit hit damage. I do have 622 electronics on these, which is really why I use them. There's no reason to put like stamina or firearms on my gloves when I'm covering stamina on other pieces, and I don't need firearms for a sticky build. But I also have sticky bomb damage, as you see there, which is to me big to have on your gloves. That's like a main thing to me to have on my gloves is sticky bomb damage. I have to have that on my gloves at the very least. And these are 204. I crafted these, I believe. Yeah, I believe I crafted these. Or did I pick these up? I don't know, it's hard to remember. But they have 449 armor on them as well. Not bad. The highest 498. Do I see any higher? Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen 500. But I have 449 on mine 204s with Savage on them, which is giving me extra crit hit chance against targets out of cover. And I have crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and damage to elites. Those are just big for my sticky bomb damage and the electronics that they offer. My holster now, last but not least, we have my holster. Let's take this mod off, which is a Tactician Authority holster. Now this is my third one we're covering on this build, and that's unlocking the 20% skill haste set bonus on my set for my Tactician, which is going to give me my skills back faster. Basically, a fifth of the time it takes back, it's going to take away just by having that third piece. So that's why Tactician is one of my favorites, just because of that skill you get. Stamina and electronics I have rolled. I wish I had all three, but unfortunately I don't. I'm not worried about firearms because it's not important for a sticky build. So I was fine settling with this. I don't have ones with all three. This one I have, but you see how this is 643 electronics. This is only 600. I don't want to lose that extra. Plus, this has armor rolled on it and a mod slot. So 617 stamina, 643 electronics, 472 armor, and I have a mod slot. I don't have any sticky bomb damage or raid. Unfortunately, I wish I did. But I had to have armor on this holster just to make sure I was at 75%. So I had to roll armor. Your holster's another one of those, just like your knee pads. If you need armor, you need to get to that cap on your holster, you know what I mean? So that's just the way it went. I'm sitting at 955 armor total on it. These are 240 pulse crit hit damage. Once I put my mod on, which is another stamina mod, I'm sitting at 738. How much did that add? 121 it's adding, and 119 armor. So I'll be sitting at 738 stamina, 643 electronics on my holster. So now that's my build. As you see there, the stats again, 86,603 DPS, my fault. 439,800 toughness and 43,360 skill power. My stamina is being increased by 109,950, but when you go down here to survivability, the total maximum health of your character is actually the same. One time it was a little different, but it's 109,950 is my total health. When you factor in my 75% mitigation of my armor, that's how we get to 400 and almost 440,000 toughness. Real tanky build.